Hello and welcome. How are you doing? It's Neil, your host, and I am a confident contractor sometimes, and sometimes not. I'm also a DevOps expert, and I'm here to guide you through the journey of stuff and things today. So let's find out where the thing is. Some of my windows are a bit different today, so let's go over here. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Safely in the corner and you can see my screen. So today we're talking about the career trap. What the heck does that mean? Well, we're all in a career, right? So I'm sure that when we were young and full of energy, maybe you still are young and full of energy, we were looking at that ladder of our career progression and wondering which building it's resting up against. And so I'm going to talk you through navigating that career ladder, and so maybe making sure that you can set yourself up for success right from the off. But what happens? In a traditional career path, it starts with an entry-level position. My journey was no different. I started off as a trainee technician. They even gave me a van. Ooh. But this meant, in reality, driving a lot. I covered the whole of the southwest, along with a couple of other colleagues. That could have been anywhere as far as Swindon, all the way down to Plymouth and beyond. And sometimes had to venture into Wales, all the way over to Swansea. So quite a big area. Like I said, a lot of driving. And what was I there to do? I was there to learn. But mostly I was there to deliver parts to other engineers. I had a van, as I just mentioned, and there's loads of stuff in this van, like printers and monitors and spare bits of computer. And I went on a 2-year journey to learn about how to fix printers, sometimes how to fix monitors. They're scary, don't do that. In the olden days, there's lots of electricity in monitors. We don't really get that with the LED panels now. It's much simpler. And I would drive around and meet the other engineers, and they would show me bits and bobs and help repair things. And I slowly entered my career like that. Of course, as a programmer, I've been programming since I was 9. But that doesn't count unless you got a degree, apparently, back in those times. So I was in my entry position. And there are many entry positions. Some of my colleagues have started out on the help desk, first level support, answering the phones. Hi, yes, I can reset your password, or something like that. So many password resets they used to go through. But once you're on that path, you're then in your entry level position and you're learning from your people, from your colleagues, learning from books and webinars, maybe computer-based training, and if your employer's nice enough, they might even put you up in a hotel for you to go on site and do some training. But as you gain the experience, you'll move up to other roles like a junior developer or a junior DevOps engineer or infrastructure, networks, security, whichever branch you choose to go out into. And then what happens after that? Well, you might move up into other roles. What does that ladder lean against? Do roles like team leader, tech lead, maybe even manager. And so, in order to move along with your career, you might want to get paid more. As an entry level position, you might be paid enough just to rent a small place, but you want to meet the person of your dreams that you want to live the rest of your life with. Remember, we're going back to when we were young and full of energy here. And so then once you find that person you want to share your life with, you'll need more money to do other things with them. Enjoy the weekends, maybe buy a house. And all these other things that you need mean you feel the pressure to move on in your career. And that's okay, going from a junior to a senior engineer is great. But what if you get to the top of that tree and you still feel the pressure, and the only gap available for you is to move into a manager position. Now, I can tell you from experience, even when you hit team leader, there's very much a them and us. There's the managers, and then there's the staff. And it's a very subtle thing. But when you're staff, you know that's where you are. And things feel safe. You know, you've got the managers, they do the managing thing over there. And you're with the rest of the people doing the real work, right? And you can cross over that threshold into team leader or manager. Suddenly you're one of them. And it feels very different from that side of the fence. You don't play with the tech anymore. You're talking about people management. You're talking about memos and letters and HR. And it's very, very different to the skills that you might have come with when you entered the career. So you don't want to be a manager. But what else could you do? Where can you go? You know, you feel stuck at this level of technical ability, but you want to earn more money so you can get those nice things for you and your family. But there are alternative tracks. There are alternative paths you could go down. You might have heard about contracting or freelancing or even entrepreneurship. What the heck does all that mean though? Well, contracting might mean doing something like working on short-term projects. And these assignments, when I say short-term, I mean sometimes really short-term. I've seen contracts as short as 2 weeks. I've seen other contracts as long as 2 years. Now you might say that that's not short-term, Neil. Come on, 2 years? I said, well, it depends. I mean, I've been in permanent jobs less than 2 years. So I guess 2 years is a long time when you compare it to that. But most people, when they're in a permanent job, they expect there to be there until they retire. So 2 years is short in that context. Anyway, getting away from the subject here slightly. 6 months to 12 months is more the norm when you're talking about short-term projects. And being a contractor, that might appeal to you. It also gives you flexibility. It gives you autonomy. And it gives you the opportunity to explore other industries and roles. I know some people that have gone in as maybe a project manager, or maybe they've started as a technical person, they want to go into project ownership. See, project management isn't really much management of people in the traditional sense. It's more about managing a product, making sure that the deliverables are done, which can be an attractive way of doing it. Alternatively, there's stuff like Scrum Master or other such roles within that need a certain level of technical ability. But more importantly, it gives you the flexibility to try different industries. Maybe you've grown up in the housing industry and now you want to see what it looks like in banking and finance. Or maybe go somewhere completely different, like defence, submarines and planes, who knows. And whilst you can do that as a permanent employee, it takes a little bit more effort to make that big lump. That switch, maybe you won't like it. As a contractor, you can switch around a little bit faster. But it does give you choices. It gives you choices of the products and the projects and the clients that you can work with. And like I said, there's a variety in that. If you're only somewhere for 6 months, maybe 12 months if you really like it, and then you move on to something else. And all the time you're building your technical ability and you're being paid a higher level because you're getting more technical, not more managerial. So how do you get there? Well, you need to reflect on what your career aspirations are. Do you want to specialize in a specific technical area? Do you have certain strengths? Or do you value the opportunity to make a difference in certain areas? The first step in any of this is to have some goals. Consider which path aligns best with your long-term aspirations. And then if that's in line, hopefully you can feel a sense of fulfillment. Not only when you get to the goal, but on the way to the goal as well. You must enjoy the journey. Heck, I didn't understand that until I was a bit older. But it's all about enjoying today as well as looking forward to tomorrow. You need a change if you're sitting there on a Sunday night and you're dreading work tomorrow. That means you're in the wrong job, or you're with the wrong people, or you're working towards a goal that's not really what you want. So understand what you do want. Heck, start with what you don't want if you're not sure. List everything you don't like, and then maybe out of there you can see some glimmer of what you do like, and then refocus, set a goal, and head off in that direction. Now, this non-traditional career path is going to require a little bit of extra effort on your part though, but you will be rewarded. So you do need to step out of your comfort zone. You might need to learn some new skills. You might need to speak to a lot of new people. But if you're ready for that, and you're driven for that, and you don't want that Monday morning feeling of dread, then, let's go for it. So what can you do today? Well, the first thing you need to do is set that goal. Understand where you want to head to. But if you want some help in that, we can fill out my lovely quiz. It'll ask you a bunch of questions about what you know and what you don't know, and then it'll give you a report that will clue in on where you need to fill those gaps. And together we can then assess whether you're ready to make the leap. And I can hold your hand when you're ready to do so. Maybe you've already made the leap and you already know a lot of those things, and there's a couple of gaps you just need to clear up on or need help with. I'm here for that too. So if there's any questions about what I've said, put the comments in below. And that's a quite short one for this week, and I'll see you next Wednesday for the next one. Ciao.